Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris, and today I'm looking at the new album by Svalbard, titled The Weight of the Mask. So in the last video, I said that we had a lot of albums to get to between now and the end of the year, so let's move swiftly on to the brand new album from Bristol legends Svalbard. Svalbard, for those of you who are not aware, are a post-metal / hardcore band formed in 2011. Having recently signed to Nuclear Blast, they have released their fourth studio album, The Weight of the Mask. I'm going to go off on one now, so do please excuse me. I fucking love this band. I first heard them before Bloodstock 2021. I checked them out before the festival itself, and I liked what I heard, a few snippets here and there. Then I saw them at the festival itself, and they were on the main stage, and it completely blew me away. I've been a massive fan ever since. All, of course, culminating in one of the best moments I've ever had on this channel, where I had the amazing Serena Cherry joining me for a video to chat all about all things Svalbard and Noctool, Power Metal, and Skyrim. That was a real moment for me. Still one of my favourite videos that we've ever done on this channel. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I'm really, really proud of it. We'll get into the specifics of what I love about this band in regards to this album itself as we go on, but in a general sense, you'll see this in the interview as well if you watch it. I just love how open, honest, uncompromising, and earnest Svalbard's music is. Them as people as well just seem to be honest and open and really uncompromising, basically. It's a very refreshing feeling listening to a Svalbard song and there being no ambiguity whatsoever as to what the song in question is about and what point the band are trying to make. There's no waxing poetics, no metaphors or any of that stuff. It's just none that you can interpret it in different ways kind of thing. It's honest, it's brutal, and I love it. They just seem to get better with every single album that they drop. With their last album, When I Die, Will I Get Better, being jaw-droppingly good. I felt all the emotion in that thing. It was a really incredible listen. So 3 years since the last album, and 2 years since the last time I saw the band live, I've been waiting for this new album for quite some time. So as new songs were coming out in the build-up to the release, I was loving every single one that was coming out, so I was considering this one of my most anticipated albums of the entire year. Of course, Weight of the Mask is now finally out, so let's dive straight into the first track. In typical Svalbard fashion, no fucking around with intro pieces or noisescape intro things or any of that kind of rubbish. Straight to the head-pounding goodness as Faking It charges straight in. All the strengths of this band are displayed here right from the off. Cutting lyrics, very introspective lyrics, and vocals that from either Serena or Liam sound so committed and so genuinely pissed off. It's heavy metal's an angry genre, right? It just is. There are a few bands where I feel like it's legit and genuinely angry or whatever feeling that they're trying to convey. Svalbard managed to do it. I don't know how they do it, but they just do. Maybe it's because the lyrics are so just in your face that it just comes across stronger. I don't know, but whatever it is, they found that formula and it works, and it still works here. But what I've always loved most about this band, and probably Noctool as well, anything with Serena Cherry in it, is the guitar work. It's so simple, but the high melodies, rich with reverb, create such a massive scope in sound. I see some people say that's like a shoegazy influence thing coming in, or the post influence or whatever you want to call it. It just makes it all sound so epic, so soaring, and really emotional as well. This song has that in spades. I love the sort of pre-outro to this song as well, with those pounding stabs along with the vocal lines. It's a monster of an opening track, gets you on board right from the off. Not ones to slow down too quickly, the second track, Eternal Spirits, boots off like a rocket as well. This is a very chanty, fists in the air kind of thing, which I wouldn't normally associate Svalbard with, but it works really well alongside their usual conviction, given that a lot of their music is on the darker side of things. So I say, well, almost all their music is on the darker side of things. Having a big anthem here to honour the legends of the genre that are no longer with us is quite a refreshing change of pace for the band. It's not a happy song per se, it is about mortality after all, but the vibe is more fuck yes, we remember your legacy, rather than fuck everything, if that makes any sense. I'll also use this song to highlight the development of the vocals in this band, particularly Serena's harsh vocals. They have gotten better and better with every single album, and here we've reached perfection. How the most softly spoken person I've ever chatted to can come out and sound so ferocious like this. It blows my mind. Not that Liam doesn't bring it too, of course he does. The vocals on this album in general are just, across the board, the best that they've ever had. One last bit of this song that I love is that chugging drop down bit with the slight choral effect behind it. It's just epic. I read in an interview before this album dropped where the interviewer asked whether this new album would be as dark as When I Die Will I Get Better, or perhaps lighter, with Serena saying, no, it's worse, or words to that effect. Honestly, I mean, I can't speak to how they perceive this music, having written it, but to me, the listener, I think there's plenty of moments of light on this album, which sets it apart from a lot of the music that has come before from Svalbard. And it isn't dripping in positivity by any stretch of the imagination. It's still a very pained album, but there are more glimpses of something, glimpses of hope, I guess, that I wasn't expecting to hear. Case in point, the song Defiance. Firstly, the music itself, that guitar, at one point in particular, seems anything but dark to me. Dare I say it sounds hopeful. Also, let's talk about these clean vocals. Svalbard, it's not new to them to throw clean vocals in. They've always cropped up occasionally, but they've always felt like they take a little bit of a back seat. When they do come up, there's normally a lot of emphasis placed on them, but they're never normally the spotlight of any one song, if that makes sense. On this album, though, on more than one occasion, they are fully present and in the forefront, and much more prevalent across the whole album than ever before. Like the harsh vocals, these are better than ever. I'll use Defiance again as an example. The chorus is pretty much completely relegated to clean vocals, and again, those lyrics don't sound dark to me. last section of that song, man. It's so good. It's epic. It's powerful. Hit me right there, you know. As I say, and I keep reiterating, this band usually like to write about the darkest side of life, which is not a bad thing to me. They do that really, really, really well. But songs like this, which for me are really moving from them, I really hope we hear this a little bit more in the future. Don't have it overtake what the band do best and the style that they feel that they are most comfortable with. But they can do hopeful, at least in my opinion, so we'd gladly hear more of that going forward. November, again, the next track, in a similar vein, it's just so mournful and emotional. It's the first real moment of relief that we get from the album, taking its time to really build up before it goes all out. And when it does, it's epic again. Defiance and November, back to back, are just so good. Lights Out, back to familiar territory. I just love the use of tremolo that Serena writes. It never gets old for me. Normally we hear like the kind of higher up kind of tremolo thing. Hearing a lower down guitar run, again, nice change of pace, really, really cool stuff. And how this band can keep coming up with simple yet impactful guitar melodies is something I wish I was able to do. Every song on this album has its own special guitar moment or 10. If you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen my immediate response to the song How to Swim Down when it dropped. This song, I'm not afraid to say it, this song nearly made me cry. I couldn't tell you why. It just hit me like a truck, featuring no harsh vocals whatsoever. It's beautifully performed by Serena. The guitar has just the right amount of reverb. The violin from Liam is also a very nice touch. And how this song just grows in scope as it goes on, it's just super cathartic to listen to. No idea why it made me choke up so much. It's not a sad song per se. I guess it just hit me the right way. Also, it could have been that incredible music video. Not gonna lie, that might well have been it. Go watch that video if you haven't done so already. The animation is stunning. Massive shout out to boy Tillikens, I think. Jesus Christ, I'm terrible with names, but go watch the music video, go support that animator. Absolutely beautiful. I so hope they play this song live. I'm on track to talk about every single song again, aren't I? I swore I would never do that again. In fairness, I don't have too much to say about Be My Tomb or Pillar in the Sand. They're great. They do all the great things as any other Svalbard track and anything else on this album. Pillar in the Sand especially, another song with really, really good pacing and a great build-up to an emotional climax. There's more than one of those on this album, and they all work so well. The whole album, though, ends with more intensity on the Wilt Beneath the Weight, which just charges straight in. Wouldn't be a Svalbard album if it ended positively, so this one, the lyrics revert back to the more raw honesty that you know this band for, with very self-critical lyrics. But shouted under music as epic as this, I can't help but feel some sense of hope as the whole thing comes to an end. Fucking hell, this album has taken me places. When Eternal Spirits dropped, and then later How to Swim Down, I was quietly confident this album could top When I Die Will I Get Better, or at the very least match it. I loved that album, I still do. The Weight of the Mask surpasses it in every single way. The great parts from that album are still here, but there is so much more going on as well, adding a few more moments of levity, a bit more clean, some additional instruments here and there. It's all elevated Svalbard sound into by far their strongest album yet. It's almost made me feel like their older work feels like it's now missing something because of what they've added here. Again, the band themselves, from what I've read, consider this album to be much darker than what has come before. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say that's wrong. They're the artists, for God's sake, and we can all interpret music however we want. I don't feel that greater sense of darkness. I truly don't. It is very dark at times. I would expect nothing less from this band, and it tackles very difficult thoughts and ideas. But where the last album was an outpouring of anger, this album, to me, feels more like an outpouring of multiple different emotions. Sometimes anger, sometimes pain, sometimes sadness, but sometimes hope. When I Die Will I Get Better had the vibe of, what's the point? There is no hope. Weight of the Mask, to me, says, throughout all the shit, of which there is a lot of it, there is light out there somewhere. You might not reach it or find it, but it does assuredly exist. I'm going to stop all that before I make myself vomit. Jesus Christ. But man, if I'm starting to get all really poetic about this, you know this album really cut me to my core. This is Svalbard's masterpiece. An emotional, heavy, mournful, beautiful piece of music. Album of the year? You have to wait and see on that front in a few months. But this is going to take some beating for sure.